Hello, and welcome to the Drop a Stitch podcast.
I'm your host, Natalie.
And I'm your other host, Dani.
And today we're talking about Knitflix, the shows that we watch to knit and crochet.
This is going to be a fun one.
Yes.
I always love to know what people are watching.
Yeah, it's always fun. I mean, back in the day, you used to just scroll on the channels and then find something and be okay, fine, I'm going to watch this. You can't do that anymore.
No.
I find it so hard. When we want to watch a movie, it takes freaking a half an hour to find something. Oh my God. So I'm like, what about this? Oh, there's no preview. Never mind. What about that? Oh, no, never mind. They only have this language, or they don't have the subtitles, or whatever. It's just so annoying. Before you just scroll the channel and you're like, oh, this looks good. And you just watch from there. I wish they had a feature that was for movies that was just shuffle and just started playing something. But not from the very beginning, 10 minutes in. And then if you liked it, it starts it back to the beginning or something.
Just whenever you were scrolling on your TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can see if you're interested. Because the beginning is always slow. So if they took you a little bit in and you're like, yeah, okay, this looks good. Let me find out what I'm talking about, what they're talking about, and went back. That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. They need to come up with something because that's a very real struggle that everybody goes through, especially in couples. You literally take 30 to 45 minutes just to find something or to agree to watch something, and then you are scrolling, your partner just fell asleep, and it's there goes that.
Yeah. And every time, Eric has barely watched movies. I've watched a ton of movies because I put them on while I work all the time. So he'd be like, "Ooh, this looks good." I'm like, "Seen it. This looks good. Seen it. This looks good. Seen it." He's like, "Okay, well, tell me which one you didn't see in that row." And I'm like, "That one, but it looks boring. That one I started, but I never finished." It's
oh my God, I would kill you.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, "Yeah, that one was really good. I'll rewatch it with you." And he's like, "Well, it's boring. You already know what happens." And I'm like,
"Oh my God." Well then. How was your week? Everybody needs to know.
Yeah, my week was, it flew by. I don't even know what happened since last week. It flew by. We have a crawler. That's the big update from my week.
Is it officially he's on full force, or is he army crawling, or?
He's army crawling. So he's been doing it for a couple of weeks. I sent you a video a couple of weeks ago where he went for his suitor, but he was he had to be highly motivated, and he would mostly stay on his playmat and just crawl to a tour and crawl to another. But now it's full on I'm curious, let me explore things. If God. I go to the kitchen, he follows me. He crawls all the way to the kitchen. If I go he crawls to the dog. The dog will be laying down, and he crawls all the way to the dog. The dog was playing with his toy, poor him. And Theo crawled all the way to him and he was trying to grab his toy. So I'm trying to teach Theo, you have to give them space. This is their toy. You can't with the dog and the cat. But he'll I'll put him on his mat. He'll crawl all the way to the dog. And then I'm like, Theo, you have to be, because he just grabs, right?
I need a video.
So he just grabs it. I'll send you one. And so I put him back on his mat. He goes back. I put him back on his mat. He goes back. So he's full on exploring mode. If Eric's in the basement, he crawls to the basement door, and we don't have moldings yet, so he can see on the side of the door. So he was looking at Eric earlier, through the it's so cute. If I'm in the kitchen, he crawls all the way to the kitchen. So
that's so cute.
It's a new era of
oh, for sure,
running after him and not being able to he has no sense of fear whatsoever. He's on the couch, sees something on the coffee table, freaking nosedives. I'm like, no, you can't just
jump off
yourself. Yeah. Especially since no, you can't.
Oh, and it's terrible because they're level on the ground where they are, and their teeny tiny fingers, they'll find things that you did not know they existed. They'll grab things that you're like, where the hell did you get that?
Yep.
And they'll find the tiniest things to put in their mouth that you never knew it was there.
Yep.
Also,
Isa, I thought my floors were fairly clean. I was wearing a white onesie today, a white pajama.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, okay, I need to clean my floors.
Oh my gosh.
He's just been like army crawling. So he's on his belly and just like dragging himself. So he picks up cat hair, dog hair, dirt, everything. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
You should crochet or knit one of those like onesies with something to put on his belly that cleans. It's perfect. It's perfect. And then you stick it on him. One, he's not getting his clothes dirty, but two, he's also cleaning the floor at the same time.
That would be smart. I should use like burnout blanket yarn because we all know like, how well it holds on to dirt and stuff, like dust.
Yeah, and also like it's gonna be super fluffy for him, super cushiony.
Yeah,
you should totally do it.
Like a stomach mat that I can tie around his waist and just like, here you go. Please clean my floors.
Just make like a rectangle and then you can braid on the back and just like.
Yeah, I should.
That would be, like an apron kind of thing, like a round thing
a loop
around
it. Yeah. I should do that. That would be so.
That would be so funny. That would make a great reel, Natalie.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Just record yourself a little bit, just like making the thing, and then put it on your kid, and then just watching him just go, and then show the thing after, be like, it worked.
It worked. Yeah, I should. Yeah. I really should.
That would be funny. They're really hilarious. I can guarantee you would go freaking viral with that.
Well, maybe I'll try it. Hey, I don't care about getting viral. I just care about having clean floors. So
yeah, and everything is content, right? You need to. Yeah, everything is content.
Nothing is content right now because I'm still I've disappeared off the grid for a second here.
I know you have. I'm like every week waiting for your story to promote the podcast episode.
I know. I'm like, this is where I'm at now. This is where I'm at now. I'm like 3 weeks behind, and I'm like now I'm having anxiety because like I need to post back, but I'm like, but then everybody's gonna know, so I'm like I'm stuck here. I need to like.
That's what happens with me with the YouTube videos. No, but now that I have my pattern ready for next week, that it's launching next week. I finally have time to do all of that. So that's going to get done this weekend for sure. Tomorrow.
So how was your week?
It's been good.
You finished your pattern?
I finished my pattern.
The riverbed blanket. Are you allowed to sit in there? I'm sorry. Am I allowed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm super excited. I cannot wait to share the pattern. Like everybody, it's like, can you stop showing pictures and just post the pattern? And I was just, and that's something that it gets me like, I'm like, should I keep posting? Because at this point, I'm just teasing people with this pattern that it's not coming until next week. And I'm like, then people are going to be like, yeah, okay, it's not the launching post or whatever, a publishing post. So like,
yeah, but you can post with the countdown.
Guilty.
No, post with the countdown.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I could do that, a couple of reels with that until next week.
It's informative. It's like, 7 more days, 6 more days, 5 more days. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's really, So I finished all of that. I finished the video tutorial, which I'm super proud of. I'm still trying to freaking learn how to use my camera. That's something that's been very frustrating. I got myself into a couple of Canon camera groups on Facebook, and I've been asking questions and people answer, and I'm getting some answers. So I'll try a few of the tips. Also, the eclipse happened this week. Yes,
the eclipse.
We couldn't see anything.
What do you mean you couldn't see anything?
I thought
Did you have glasses?
No, I didn't.
You're not even supposed to look at the sun.
I didn't look at it. I
had glasses, but I also looked at it because I was like, I don't believe that. And Eric was like, it's so bad, don't do that. And I was like, oh, oops.
Did you? And was it cool when you looked at it with the glasses?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like fantastic. Like, I mean, it was cool. It's a once in a life, like not once in a lifetime because it'll happen again. But I mean, like, it doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
It was cool to look at it. Like, if you looked outside, it was just a normal sun. We weren't in the, like, totality part.
That's a thing.
But it was quite close, honestly. And Eric was, like, freaking out. Eric is into space and all that stuff. So he was like, oh, my God. Like, he was like a little kid. He was, like, running outside with his glasses and being like, it's starting. And, like, going back. Like, it was so funny. But yeah, so like he like, I didn't even know, like I was like, okay, whatever, like I'm not, whatever. He like ordered glasses on Amazon. He was like, no, we need to like have this. And like he was like, come sit outside. And like we looked at it. It was kind of cool. Like you saw it move in front of the sun and then like go away.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool. But I mean, it's not like we didn't stare at it the whole time. Like we would look at it and then like chat whatever, and then look at it again and be like, oh, it's getting closer. And then like, because it takes like an hour, right? Like it's from it starting to ending. So I mean, you're not. And it only lasts 4 minutes. Yeah, in the like the totality thing, but we're not in the pot, so we never saw it fully. Like
that's the thing. So I was like, we only got 98%.
Yeah.
So we were pretty close to the totality, but 98%. How freaking strong the sun is! Just the teeny tiny corner made still be clear outside. You know?
But it was still. I expected it to be a lot darker than it was.
Me too.
But like
that's what I'm saying.
When it got kind of dark, it was kind of like an eerie kind of dark. Like it was like bright, but it was darker. It was like it was like there were shadows. Like the it's like you were in the shadows of a sunny day, but everywhere, and it was still clear. It was just weird.
Yeah, I know.
It was just like it was weird. It was like creepy. I was like, if something weird is gonna happen, like
it's gonna happen now.
Like yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like when we were in the front, because we have the sun in front of the house by that time. So we were in the front with the kids, not outside of the house because I didn't want them to look at the sun. We were inside, and I was just hyping Luke up like it's gonna happen, it's gonna get dark or whatever, thinking that 98% it's like a high percentage. It's gonna get dark, not maybe like nighttime, but it's gonna get dark.
Yeah.
And yes, it started to get dark. Like the house got dark, so we had to turn the lights on, and it looked outside like an evening, but not really because the sun wasn't setting, so it wasn't where it was supposed to be.
It was just
and
weird.
Then the street lights were starting to turn on, but then they were flicking because they were just going nuts of like, is it light, is it not, is it night, is it not? So like, and then that was it. And then it started getting clear again. I'm like, where's the dark? Where's the day and night? And then I just figured, okay, 98%, that 2% that you can still see the sun. The sun, it's strong as hell.
But I don't even know if you were in the full, like, because I think the sun is bigger. Like, I don't know. I don't even know if you were in the full, like, in the totality path, if it went fully dark. I don't think so. Like, I think it's just like a massive shadow.
No, if you were in the totality, it went like almost nighttime, like literally dark. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, because you only see the crown of the sun around it. It's like just, but you don't see like the shine on Earth, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it was really dark.
Eric was looking and he was like, there's like flare thingies. There's like things you can see kind of around it. And Eric was like, it's so cool. Like we can see it. And I was like, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. I know what that is. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I know. I was like that too. And then I thought, man, if I went outside when it was happening and I took a picture with my phone,
you wouldn't have seen anything.
Oh.
You need to take a picture through glasses to see it.
Oh, well then. So then, fuck it.
I mean, there's other ways. Like some people like were doing things with cardboard boxes and like paper plates and whatever. But like, yeah, you needed to have some sort of contraption to be able to see it. Like Eric took a couple pictures with his phone, but like through the glasses, and you could kind of see like when he was all excited running outside before, like when it was just starting, he was like, look, it's starting. And I was like, okay. And then like when it was closer, like he was like, come and see. So yeah, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It's a day to remember. Like I'll put
for sure.
Our glasses with like the date and stuff in like Theo's like souvenir box.
Oh,
because like we brought him outside with us because like he has very light blue eyes, so he can't like if there's any tiny bit of sun, his eyes water. So I put a hat on him so that he like couldn't really see up, and he was playing with his toys. He didn't care to look at the sun at all, but just in case. And like,
well, he wouldn't look anyways.
No, so I wasn't worried about bringing him outside, but yeah, it was just funny.
Yeah, it was cute. So, yeah, besides that, everything's been good. It was a quiet week. It went by fast, as per usual.
Yes.
And now, what did you buy this week? Did you buy anything?
Yes, baby gates.
Oh, yes. You got baby gates?
We're in the crawling phase, so baby gates is where we're at this week.
Which one did you get? You get the...
We got...
what are they called? The...
I don't know
what push?
They call.
No, whatever they... The pressure one. Pressure mount.
Yes, we got the pressure one. We have, like... So, we didn't install it yet. We bought the one to go at the bottom of the stairs, but he doesn't quite go this far because our stairs are like way at the end of a hallway. And because we're not often like there, he hasn't crawled there yet. So we're just going to wait till he gets there to put it in, because it's going to be annoying for us to get used to. So we didn't put that one in, but we got the same ones that you have, like with the door that like there's a bar at the bottom so you can open and close the door. Like you don't have to take the whole gate off and put it back because that's way too annoying. So we got that one for the bottom of the stairs. We didn't get one for the top of the stairs yet because, I mean, he's not going to get out of his crib. So it's not like he can crawl there. And then if we're upstairs and he's on the floor, he's either in his room or in ours. So like the door is shut. So there's no worry. So we got one for the bottom of the stairs, and we got one. Well, that one we had received. My brother had bought it for us to put for the kitchen, because it's like an extra wide one, because we have an archway into the kitchen. And we have the cat food there and the cat water fountain. So it was like, and that's the first time he went to the kitchen, he like water fountain. And then like went to the cat food bowl, and I was like, hell no. I was like, so that's the closest to like our living room. So that one's up and installed, but we had to actually screw it. And we thought we could just get away with like pressuring it, but it's made to be screwed because it's like extra wide, so I guess for extra like stability. So we ended up screwing it.
But it's good because I really like the ones that you screw in the wall better, because now that they're getting older, we don't have any anymore. We only have the one at the top of the stairs. Even though Isa knows how to go up and down, she even shuts the freaking gate herself. It's still like whenever they're running in the hallway and they get wobbly because they're laughing so hard, I'm like, they're gonna push each other at some point. So I was like, we're keeping it. And I feel way more comfortable having that one screwed to the wall than having the pressure one. We had the pressure one before.
At the top of the stairs?
At the top of the stairs.
You're supposed to have a screwed in one at the top of the stairs.
Yes, you are. But I had a push one before, and I was like, and then Luca started not climbing, but like, grabbing onto it. And then Isa started like moving it. And I was like, they're going to go down with gate and everything. So we're getting a screw one. And that's the best decision ever.
Yeah. That's what we're going to get upstairs. But I was like, until we need it.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. So
yeah, and downstairs,
for us, like it's just annoying for us too. So I already have to get used to not trip on the one in the kitchen.
Oh my gosh, I know.
So Eric is the worst at that. He's already tripped like 4 times. And so like I was like, we'll do one at a time. We'll get used to the kitchen one, then we'll get used to the bottom of the stairs, and then eventually we'll put the one at the top when we need it, and then we'll be good.
Yeah, that's a whole new era.
Yeah, so that's what I bought this week. What did you buy?
I didn't buy anything, surprisingly.
Boring.
I know, right? I didn't get anything. I'm trying so hard to find a reason not to get the Dyson Airwrap. Like, I want to treat myself to that so bad. And then I'm like, no, but you're fine with your cheapy $30 hair dryer. And then I'm like, but my hair deserves a nice hair dry. And I was like, I'm just trying to find reasons not to buy it, but I keep seeing videos of people loving it, and I use it for this and for that. I'm like, yeah. So I haven't bought anything, but I'm like
itching to.
Yeah, maybe next week I'll have a surprise.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, now what are you working on? Still your sweater, your podcast project?
Always and forever. Look at how big it's getting, though.
I know. It is.
I think I have an inch and a bit or 2 inches to go, like not that long on the body.
Fun.
It's so soft. It's so nice. I can't wait.
I am making the kids Christmas sweater. Well, it was Kale's version, and I'm knitting just for knitting right now because we just decided before recording the podcast that we're not gonna do this pattern anymore. We found another one.
Whoa, Okay, so what happened is last week Dani wasn't knitting anything. I told her she should start knitting her Christmas sweater. She said, I'll cast on for next week. You guys heard this. We can go back and listen. And so I messaged her today. I was like, hey, we're recording. Make sure you cast on. And she said, sure. Showed up to the podcast having cast on the sweater that we had decided to do, and was like, but hey, I found a different pattern. Maybe I like that one better. How about we do this one? And I'm like, okay. But we're keeping the kids the original sweater because the new sweater is only adult size.
Yeah.
And Dani had cast on Kales, so now she's knitting for fun, and we'll frog it all.
Yeah. But the thing is, the pattern that we were gonna make is too fitted for my liking.
Yeah, it is fitting.
And also for a man, I don't feel like because we're using fancy yarn, expensive yarn, and we're making sweaters for ourselves, that I'm like, I want to wear it.
Yeah.
I don't want it to make it so then it's been used once and then it's done. You know what I mean? I want
we want to make it nice and actually use it and not just make it for one Christmas picture.
Yeah, especially like the kids is one thing, but us, like,
because the kids are going to be outgrowing it by next year. But for us, it would be nice to have something nice
that we can actually wear. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, and the other thing that I wanted to tell you, I wanted to suggest, is that what if only the kids have their initial, because the original pattern that we had was a Weasley sweater, right?
You're going to change everything.
No, but listen, that's the one, right? So it's super fun. I love it. But what if only they have their initial and we don't?
What if we put our initial, take the Christmas picture, and then remove the initial?
Yeah, I thought about that too. I think that would be a good idea, but it's still a lot of work to do the letters.
Yeah, no.
If you have done,
I feel like we should.
Okay, but then we can remove it.
Yeah, we can remove it so we can keep wearing it. Because I agree. I was.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep wearing this shirt with my letter
initial
on it, aside from like at Christmas.
Exactly. And
I know Eric will want the like full thing for the picture.
Okay, yeah. So we can do it for the picture, and then whoever wants to keep it can keep it, and then we can remove it. Because I don't know
basically
if I want to.
You and I are going to remove it and keep wearing it, and whoever else does whatever.
No, I think Kel would remove it too. I think like he would 100% wear the sweater a lot more if he didn't have the C.
Of course.
Yeah.
I feel like Eric will probably want to remove it so he could wear it too, but like I know he's gonna want the letter for the picture, and like it just makes sense. So yeah.
Okay, so we can do that and then remove
Let's go back to the podcast. You guys
I know.
This is what happens. This is what we talk about before.
Yeah, we start rumbling. Hey, but it's fun, you know. Yeah. I actually enjoy a lot. I think we have said this before multiple times, but I really enjoy people just having a conversation and you're just like listening to their conversation.
Yeah.
Being
like fly on the wall, being like, what are they doing?
I know. What are they talking about? Oh yeah, I like that too. And you like give your opinion and something. I'm not even listening to you. But
unless you disagree, or they're like, oh, I don't understand this. And you're like, oh, I know the answer. I could help you.
I know.
But like, I know. I'm not there to talk to you.
I know. I love doing that, especially when it's like like two people podcast.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love when they talk and just ignore me. I'm not here. Just continue talking about your life. That's fine. I'm just
like
listening.
You're at the restaurant and listening to the couple beside you, their conversation.
Oh yeah.
But let's get into today's subject. Knitflix. The shows that we watch. Not Netflix. Knitflix.
Yes, Knitflix.
Or Crowflix, I guess.
I wish there was like not an app, an app or something where all knitters and crocheters could go, or maybe just a group on Facebook. I don't know. It doesn't have to be that fancy. It doesn't have to be an app. Just a group on Facebook that it's called like Knitflix, and then everybody just says what they're watching or reading, and then you can give it a lot of people
reading
ideas.
Like Audible or something.
Yeah, it could be Audible or just books in general. Just a book.
Except I can watch movies and shows and knit or crochet.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Read and knit or crochet. People listen to audiobooks, but I can't, like, for me, it doesn't work.
Oh, yeah, I get so out of it.
I just zone out. Yeah, I zone out. And then it's like, whatever, it's been 20 minutes. I have no freaking idea what they're talking about anymore. And then I have to stop and go back and stop and go back. So like, never mind.
Or people that uses Kindles too. They have like these little tripods or whatever, and they can read. It's just like a screen, right? So then you just do your thing.
Yeah, and they have remotes now too to switch the pages and everything.
Oh my God.
It's fancy. I don't have one.
I know.
But yeah. So tell me, what are you listening to or watching right now?
Okay, so I'm currently hooked to one show, but it's not on Netflix. It's on Crave.
What is it?
It's super old, actually, but it's really good. It's The Good Doctor.
Okay.
And I feel like it's interesting. Have you watched it?
No.
Okay,
I've heard of it, but I have never watched it.
It's super interesting. It's nice, but you can still work on your project. But I feel like it's one of those shows that sometimes it will just grab you and you're going to be just watching and forgetting about your project.
Yeah.
To me, the best shows to watch are just trashy shows that you don't need to pay attention.
Yeah.
Nothing that requires 100% your attention. So any like reality show, Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. Yeah.
And whatever.
In Chile.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But
those are the best. And I feel like they use each other's names like so often that you some shows you need to watch to see what's happening. But reality TV, they use each other's names so often. And you get to know their voices if you're like actually watching more than one, like, episodes back to back or whatever, that you don't even have to look up. It's just blah, blah. You just listen to them and you don't have to it's not like an action movie where you need to see what's happening and where did he run to and like you know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
yeah,
you can just listen. Yeah.
Before, when I had cable, because we rarely use cable, so we don't have it anymore. Mm-hmm. I used to be really into 90 Day Fiancé. Like, I will watch all of them.
Yes, I know you did.
All the time.
Every time I go over to your house, you'd watch 90 Day Fiancé. I'm sure there's a way you can still watch it.
Oh, I'm sure, but I'm like, whatever. I'm not going to pay another subscription to see when I already have, like, pretty much all of them. But yeah, The Good Doctor is a really good one. It's got a ton of seasons. So it's a show that it's not just one season and you're over and you're like, oh my gosh, why?
Yeah.
It's about this doctor that he has some level of autism.
Okay.
But because of his level of autism, he's so smart and he can solve problems way faster than any other person without disability can do. And his way of thinking is just beyond good. Like, he will think of something that you would never think of, and he would find the why that's happening to the patient faster than anybody. And it's so interesting because it's so fast. Things are happening all the time. There's a patient here. And then it's not just patients' cases that they're covering that are real. It's also what's happening between them, in the hospital, between him and his coworkers and the other doctors. And, like, he wants to have, it's really
your typical,
interesting.
Like, ER show where you can see what's happening with patients, but every episode there's certain patients, but there's also like all the drama with the coworkers and whatever.
Yeah, but this is the OR. Like, everything happens in the operation room.
Okay.
So but it's just so interesting because they also talk about the cases, like the real stuff.
You kind of learn some real life stuff at the same time too.
But it's just the way that he is presented in the show and how he does everything is just so interesting. And the way that he moves and how he acts, and it just gets you to learn more about autism in another different level, in another different way. So yeah, that's a really good show. I really like it. So, and that's a show that I don't necessarily need to watch every day. Yeah. Like, if I'm making something, I'll just put it on and I continue. But yeah, besides that, I'm trying to think what else. You know what I like to watch too, but this is something that I need to be knitting, not crocheting.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. For me, it's a lot harder, like shows that I will crochet to, because for crochet you constantly have to look down to see where you're inserting your hook. Will be shows that I've either watched a ton of time before, like Friends, How I Met Your Mother, like that kind of show where like you've seen multiple times, like it doesn't matter, you can toss any episode, you don't need to like have followed what happened the episode before or whatever. Like you just randomly pick an episode and start watching that. Like for crochet, that's the thing. Or basically anything you've watched before is just like reality TV that you don't need to look up for crochet. Whereas for knitting, because I don't need to look down nearly as often, I can, like if I'm watching a new show, I'll do something with knitting.
Same.
Instead of crochet.
The same. So for me, the one, what happened with my, anyways, my nail. Wait, which one was it? Oh, okay, yes. So the one that I like to watch, but I need a knitting project, is true crime. I love watching true crime. Especially one girl on YouTube, like she's so good, and the way she tells you the story is so engaging, and she's just really good. She's called, her channel is True Crime with Kendall Ray.
Okay.
And she, I just love her channel. I just love how she presents everything. But that's something that I need as a knitting project for it, and a knitting project that I'm already like, if it's a sweater, I'm in the body. Or I'm making a hat that I don't need to even look at the project whatsoever in order to make it. Like I can, if I have a mistake, I can even feel it with my fingers. Like I really don't need to see. But I can't do a crochet because I'm like very just looking at it and paying attention. So like, it's got to be something that I already know how to make, or it's like a very repetitive pattern. Or even if it's a crochet, it could be a crochet if it's like a very repetitive pattern. If I'm making like this blanket, for example, the granny stitch blanket.
Yeah, something where you're like inserting in the chains where you don't have to like be so precise to make sure you got both, sides of the V and whatever. Like
it's got to be something like that for me to be like, okay, I'm going to watch that while I crochet this. If not, it has to be a knitting project for sure.
Yeah. I'm watching 3 shows right now. I'm watching the Big Brother, because Big Brother is like reality TV.
Yeah.
It's such a like, it's basically they throw like, depending on the year, usually around like 12 to 16 people in a house. And every week somebody gets voted out. And so you have a competition to see who's in charge of the house, basically, and who decides who's up for nominations to like be evicted. And then they pick 2 people that they want out of the house. And then those 2 people and 4 more play in the power of veto, which they can veto one of the nominations. So they can save themselves, or like if your friend's on the block, you can like save them. And then there's the voting ceremony where like everybody votes and somebody goes home. And so it's like a super, like some of the comps are mental, some of them are physical. So it's like, it's mental, it's physical, it's social, it's like mind games, because you're like, some people are in the background and just controlling what happens because they talk to one person and they talk to this person, and like whoever they want ends up always going home. Some people are like just floating around, not causing any like harm, just kind of staying in their corner, and they last to the end. Like there's so many different ways to play the game.
Okay.
But like you have to be strong mentally, physically, like you have to have a good social game. Like it's so many aspects. It's kind of, it's funny to watch because it's like humans. Like is it
a recent show? Like is it
Oh yeah, there's a season every, like I think it's season 12. Like I'm watching the Big Brother Canada version right now. There's the American version.
And where is it? And what
Global. I watch it on Global.
And is that free?
Yeah. Just
is
the
it?
Global, the Global TV app, and you just watch it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's through cable. So we just on the TV.
Oh, through cable.
Well, you can watch it on cable, but like I don't have cable. I just have the Global TV app, and I just watch it right there.
Oh.
So yeah. So
you just download it on your iPad kind of thing, or
we have it on the TV, and we just click through the Global app, and then just go to the episode and watch it. So we do that. It's like I showed Eric and he's like obsessed. He's like, is there a new episode? Is there a new episode? Like, I want to watch it.
Really?
Because it plays 3 times a week. It plays on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays.
Oh, fun.
So you have to watch. So like it's fun too because it's not like a Netflix show where it's all there. It kind of paces you. And what's fun is that the Canadian version is not at the same time as the American version. So like you have the Canadian version for a while and then you have a little break and then you have the American version for a bit and then you have a break. And then so like twice a year you get to watch it. So it's kind of fun. I watch both. I've watched it for many years. It's so fun. It's such an interesting game. And like, there's so many aspects. Like the first guy that left this week, it was a girl that was like, I think he said this. He didn't. It wasn't him at all. But everybody was like, oh, he did. Like, oh no, like we can't stand by that. And they all kicked him out and he hadn't even done anything. Aww. Like, it's such like a social, like it's crazy. And like manipulation and like some people you're like, man, if this was like my partner in life, I'd be worried that like I'm getting manipulated. Cause like some people are like masters. Like it's kind of, it's so fun.
Oh my God.
But it's like reality TV. Some people can't stand each other and like, but they also have like parties and they do things like it's funny. It's fun. They make them do too, like some crazy things. Like if you lose some competitions, you have to wear these like stupid costumes for the week or like you're tied to another, like to somebody else for 24 hours.
Oh my God.
Or they make them do all these things. It's so funny. So yeah, it's like, it's a bit of everything. And then on a completely different note of reality TV, I'm watching the Kardashians.
You are?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it too. I'm waiting for the next season.
No, I'm still behind. My cousins started like watching it when I was around and I was like, I don't know, like, and I didn't know them at all. Like I didn't care. I thought they were just like some bimbos or whatever. And I was just like, whatever. And then I was like, okay, there's actually some content there. Like they're actually like, you know, so I started watching like back from like a few seasons. Yeah. And now I think I'm like 2 seasons behind, something like that, from like where the rest of the world is. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm watching that. So I'm still like catching up.
I watched the last season, maybe the one that passed, and maybe the one before. I can't remember. Okay. But I was like, I'm not catching up. I'm just watching the last season.
Well, I had nothing to do, and I'm like on mat leave. So for a bit, I was like, I just wanted to watch something. So, and I didn't know what to watch. Yeah. So I think it started like at season 10. Like I watched like 10 seasons, but it's just like playing on the background. Yeah. But like now it's like the most recent season, so I actually want to watch it. So like it's been going slow because I don't watch like during the day. I don't put the TV on when I'm with Theo. So it's like at night when he's asleep. If Eric's doing something else, if not, we watch a show together. So, which then brings me to my other show that we're watching. We started watching Lucifer.
Oh,
on Netflix.
How is that?
Like I feel like 2 or 3 years ago, everybody was watching it. It was like the hit show, and I had started, but I didn't get into it. Okay. And now I was like, oh, like this was one of the, when we were looking for something, I was like, seen it. That's one of the shows. I was like, I actually didn't see that one. Apparently it's really good. Yeah. So it's kind of funny. It is funny. It's one, like Lucifer is the actual devil. Yeah. Like his dad is God and he sent him to hell to like rule hell or whatever. And he got bored or whatever, so he left hell and is now on earth. And he has like this power where if he like stares at you and talks to you, he makes you admit stuff.
No way.
Yeah. And so basically, like, I even forget like how it begins, but he ends up meeting this detective on this murder case. And he helps her out because he has this power over people where they say the truth to him. And so he kind of sticks around and tries to help her. And she's like, no. But also every woman on earth is attracted to him and wants to sleep with him. So he's just sleeping around with everyone. But that one detective, she's like, no, you have no chance. Like, hell no. Like, cause she thinks he's like an ass. She's trying to figure, like, we're not far in, we're only a few episodes in. But she's trying to figure out like who he is and why, like how he does certain weird things. He said weird stuff. Like if they're like, oh, like people will say stuff about God and he's like, if only you knew, or like he has nothing to do with that, or like he'll say stuff like that as if like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And yeah, it's funny. And she's trying to figure him out, and he's like, so like he's becoming obsessed with the fact that like, why does she not want to sleep with me? Like, what the hell? Every other woman does. Like, what is
Yeah.
And so like, our guess is that like she's too pure to want to be tempted by him or something.
Oh,
like,
that's nice.
That's our guess. We'll see. But like, it's just funny because he like tries everything, and she's just like, no, like, you're an ass, like, no. And but at the same time, like, she's kind of like, why are you the way you are? And like, yeah, it's kind of funny. It's good. We're only a few episodes in, but.
Oh, now I want to watch it. Okay, now I want to watch the Big Brother and Lucifer.
Yeah, you have to.
Oh my God. That's so fun. That's the thing with me, is that I take so long trying to figure it out, a show, and then I don't read the descriptions or anything, and I just get like, oh, there's nothing, and there's like millions of things to watch, but it's
hard to find something and to get into it, and like, I can't watch too many at once too, because like, then I just stop watching one. Like, so like, Big Brother is what we watch if it's on. Like, if we have an episode. If we don't have an episode, then we watch Lucifer. Okay. And then if Eric's not there, I watch the Kardashians. So okay. Like, that's kind of like the show. Because like, there's some nights where we want to watch TV, but there's no Big Brother episode. So what do we do? So we had to find a show. So that's Lucifer. True. But I'm like, once we're done those, and we'll find new ones. But for now, that's what we have going on.
Nice. Yeah, I really want that too. It's just, to me, it's so hard too, because at night I'm just like so pooped now. Yeah. And I try to do some work and I just don't get to it. And I've been reading a couple of books, so I've been trying to do that, because I used to go on my phone for so long before going to bed, and I could just scroll for literally hours. Yeah. And now I'm just trying to read a little bit, and that literally puts me to sleep. So
that's what I do too, because my brain is like, I feel like at the end of the day, it's like so wired of like, especially like being home with Theo. Like I want to do so many things, because I'm like, I'm on mat leave, I should have time to do all these things, but I have no time. I have like, I'm watching him all day, and then when he goes to bed, I'm exhausted, and I don't want to do anything. So like, I'm stuck in this cycle where all day I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and then at night I'm like, I want to do nothing. Yeah, so exactly. I started doing that like. Before going to bed, I read at least a chapter of my book, and like, I've read multiple books this year. I'm like, my goal
this year, we're only on April. Yeah. Oh my gosh, girl. Like, I just started reading recently, like, just not that much, and I used to read a lot back in the day. Not anymore. I like reading, but I just started now, and I just can only read like 3 or 4 pages before I'm like falling asleep.
But I mean, you probably go up too late or something too to like read. Yeah, like, for sure. I'm trying to like make my bedtime earlier so that I'm not as tired. But like, I try to do like 1 chapter every day, and then sometimes I'll read another chapter like while I have breakfast.
Oh. Another whole chapter while you have breakfast?
Well, depending on the book. Some books, the chapters are super long. Some books, the chapters are short. Like, I'm not reading like 30 pages, but like, if it's like a 10 page, I read fast too. I used to read so freaking much. I used to read like a whole book every day. Like, when I was a kid,
you stop it.
I'm not kidding.
A whole book in one day.
Yeah, when I was a kid, like my summers, I would literally go to the library. You were allowed to rent 10 books. I would rent 10 books. Like, I would rent a couple like cartoons and whatever, but like mostly they were chapter books. Okay, I was also like younger, so it was like teenager books. It wasn't massive like freaking books, but decent enough, like 150, 200 pages. Okay. And I would sit at home and just read. Like, we would go camping, and I had like this chair outside that was like this 0 gravity chair, and I would just lay in there and just read all day. Oh my God. I would just read. Every week I would like finish all 10 books and bring them into the library and then get more. I was just like,
you must have been such a dream kid.
Yeah, I was such a calm, quiet kid compared to my brother.
Because like, if my kids want to read all day every day, I'm like, go ahead, buddy. Like, how many do you want? 10, 20? I'll give you 20. Do you want 30? I'll give you 30. Like, As long as they're none.
I saw a thing online where the dad is like, I'm paying my kid $1 for every chapter book they read. My kids think they're scamming me because they've made $44 this year. Meanwhile, I'm the one being like, it's only costing me $1 for you to read all these books. Like, you're quiet, you're calm, you're reading, you're learning. Like, this is the best deal ever.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
If your kids are not into books, like, I feel like in this case, like, I like reading. Lucas sees my books. Kel loves to read. Like, he reads so fast too. He's got so many books, and his books are like chunky books.
Yeah.
So I feel like if your kids grow up watching you read all the time, it's something that will, catch their attention and maybe ask, and maybe, like, we like going to the bookstore or whatever. So like, I feel like it could be something
we want to instill, like, in Theo and our kids and stuff. Like, Eric was a big reader when he was a kid. I was a big reader. Like, I don't do it as often now, and that's the only way I found to read, because like I can't read and crochet and knit. Like, I just end up doing one or the other.
Yeah.
So like, but I wanted to read for like multiple years, and it's just like, but I prefer knitting, like, because I feel more accomplished when I finished a project that I can wear or use than when I'm just done a book. Like, your project, people see it out, you can talk about it. Your book, it just goes back on your nightstand, and that's it.
That's right.
So I started doing that, like, I think maybe 2 years ago, where like every night before I go to bed, I read, and I try to read a chapter. Sometimes I don't make it through depending on the book and how big they are, but like, I've read so many more books this way. Like, I'm usually at least a book a month.
Wow.
Like, right now a little bit more, but usually at least a book a month, which I think is good enough. And like, I also take books based, like, right now I don't have any mental space to read, like, self-help books, or like big important like subject books. So I read like rom-com, basically, like simple, easy love stories that are just like, I don't have to pay that much attention. I don't have to remember, like, it's not a whole fantasy world where I have to remember all these details and all these things. It's like simple read. So like, it doesn't feel heavy on my brain. Like, I just read, and like, it's funny, and like, a lot of time too, they're super catchy. So you're just like, I want to know what happens next.
Yeah. Have you read the A Court of Thorns and Roses?
Not yet. I have the first one, but I haven't read it. Have you?
That's the one I'm reading.
Is it good?
I mean, it's interesting. Like, I'm just like I said, I don't read that fast, especially I'm a super fast reader in Spanish, but English, it's not my first language. So there are words, and these writers use sometimes words that I've never heard in my life. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Yeah. So like, maybe I'll spend 1 or 2 minutes trying to check what that word means. Then I keep reading, and maybe if it makes sense in the context, I'm like, okay, but it's still not. If you put me on a Spanish book, I can read it to you like,
super
so
quick.
freaking fast. I was always, I don't know if the teachers did this to you in school, that they would in language, they will make you read out loud or whatever.
Yeah,
they would always make me do that, because I always had the best reading, like, fast. I know where the commas and everything, and I wouldn't like trip with my mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, in Spanish, it's just good.
But in English, in Spanish, or you want to learn?
No, I want to learn in English. I mean, I want to read in English to improve that.
It does.
And also,
reading helps so much.
And also to expand my vocabulary, because I feel like I'm not learning new words anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not through
you have enough of a base that...
Yeah, my English is already good enough that I can have a conversation, and I have a lot of words, but I need more vocabulary outside of my normal day-to-day. You know what I mean?
Reading is the best way to do that, I find.
Yeah, me too. And I just seen a girl the other day showing a picture of the second book, actually, The Court of Mist, and how do you say Fury? She showed that and said that was way better than the first, and I'm like, and I got the second book thinking that it was just that book, and then I read it on Amazon. It's like, this is a series. This is book number 2. And I'm like, fuck, I need to read another one. So I got the first one, and that's the one I'm reading now. And it's weirdly interesting, the beginning. It's like, yeah, I still need to read more to be like, oh, okay, it's just too fresh. I'm still on page like 20 something out of 400 for something. So it's very, just things are just happening. I'm still trying to get like, okay, what's happening with this girl or whatever.
Understand what the world, because it's fantasy, right? Like
it is.
So you have to understand the whole world and what's happening. And
yes.
It's like basically like Harry Potter. It's like when you first read Harry Potter, there's so much like that you have to remember and discover, and like once you know it, you know it. But at the beginning, it's like a learning curve, right?
Yeah, and like she has on the books on Amazon, the reviews, like 100,000 reviews. Was it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like massively like
literally almost
popular.
200,000 5-star reviews. I'm like, what? So like it's gotta be good.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, that's the one I'm reading right now, but not nearly close to knitting and crochet at the same time. Or I mean, reading and knitting or crochet at the same time.
Yeah, no. I just finished yesterday, actually, November 9th by Colleen Hoover.
Okay.
It was really, really good. It's like basically this girl and this guy that meet up on November 9th. Like, I'm not going to like spoil the book, but basically they meet up on that day and decide to meet up every single year on that day for 5 years, because her mom has always told her, like, don't fall in love until you're 23. Like, your younger years until you're 23 are for you to discover yourself and do what you want to do. If you give yourself to somebody else before then, you're basically going to make your choices based on them and not you. And so you need to discover you first.
Aww.
And so, but she meets him when she's 18. And so she's like, I like, and she's about to move away. So she's like, I can't do this now, but like, let's meet up every year on this day. And then we'll see what happens in 5 years. And
that's so cute.
Yeah, it's good, because at the beginning, it's like the beginning is kind of expected and you see it, and then it hits, and it like I did not see that coming. I was just like,
oh my god.
And then like you just like you want to keep reading. So I love when like books have that like moment where you're like, I can't stop, I have to know what happens. Like, and this one definitely had that. So yeah, it was really good. I like her. I've read a few of her books.
Nice.
But I think this was my favorite so far. Like it was really, really good.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, the thing with me with this book, it's kind of like the same. I also want to, I've been thinking like, should I, because I read the back, I'm like, should I look up a video or something where they try to explain a little bit about the book, or should I just read it and at the end of the book, if I didn't get something, try to look for it?
Yeah, I think
because I know if I look at now, I'm going to get the spoilers.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And then it kind of ruins the book.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun to read a book before a movie, but if you watch the movie, it sucks to read the book.
Yeah, that's what's happening with me and Harry Potter. Like, I'm also reading Harry Potter. I read now and here and then because I already know the movies by heart, but I never read the books. And I was like, I need to read the books. Like, that's just unacceptable. I love Harry Potter with my heart. I literally grew up with Harry Potter. I know, like, I can freaking tell you the movie as it's happening. Like, I know the words and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I cannot be a true Harry Potter fan if I haven't read the book. So I have the first two I'm reading, and it's already so fascinating because I know the movie. To know the extra things that I'm reading that are not in the movie, it's like, whoa. Yeah. Why is this not in the movie?
Because you've gone so long and you've watched the movie so many times, it's like it must be mind-boggling. Like, I did the opposite. I've always read the books before watching the movies. So like, to me, it's something new. I like, you know what I mean? Like, and I read the books like so long ago. Yeah. That like it's the same. Like, it's to me it's all one, but for you it must be like, wait, what? Like, I didn't know this detail. And like,
I know, it's just crazy to me to see all the details that were left behind.
Yeah.
But anyways, you guys, we are already almost an hour long, and we thought that this was going to be a short episode.
Yeah.
But it's always fun to talk about movies and shows and books and stuff like that. So if you're a big fan of that and you're watching on YouTube, I'm uploading this weekend. Please leave us a comment. What are you reading or
give us suggestions.
Watching? Yes.
Even if you're not on YouTube, send us an email at dropastitchpodcast@gmail.com. Tell us what you're watching or what we need to watch.
Yes. Please
help us.
Please,
we're all
please.
Looking for shows.
Yes. I really want to know more shows. So don't be afraid of sending us an email. Please never feel embarrassed or anything. We are here to read all of your messages.
Yes.
So yeah. Also, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anywhere where you listen to podcasts, please rate us 5-star reviews because that helps us a lot. And it only takes 2 seconds.
Yes.
And if you have questions,
ideas,
or anything really.
Or anything. Topic ideas, anything. Let us know. And
you can email us at
dropastitchpodcast@gmail.com.
And that's it for today's episode, you guys. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I don't even know how many times I said guys in one sentence, but yeah.
Have a good week, everyone. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.